So I said these things because I was trying to be, nice and whatever. I wasn't saying these things to offend nobody, make them feel bad. It's never my intentions. Trust and believe. When I say something, it's because I have something to say. Now, the thing about the industry that kills me is that people don't ever want to tell the truth about the stuff that really go on. Every time when somebody asks them if this stuff really goes on, they want to give you a parable, like they Jesus in the Bible. When Jesus gave you parables, he just basically spoke from what it is, and you can explain it because parables are just phrases that people use to identify. When he would talk to the disciples and say stuff like, "Okay, I'm not." What was that scripture? I remember it so well. What was it? I'm not he, but the Father that sent me. Basically, I am he who sent me. He was the Son of God manifested. When someone says manifested, that means the man formation. That means limbs, like how he made Adam. Man formation of God, that would be his son. In biology, that would mean if God put himself in woman's womb to make himself a son. That's basically how he made Jesus. He opened up the womb of Mary, and boom, here came Jesus. But because it was biblical times, they had to hide themselves away because of the fact that they had to hide themselves away because in that time, if you didn't know a man and you were automatically pregnant and you weren't married, you were stoned to death. That's the Old Testament law. So it's like, I don't understand why everybody, when it comes down to the love of Christ, they act like they don't know stuff. My mother was trying to explain to me today about the reason why her family don't really speak to me. I don't really give a crap what her family does. And here's why. Because when you have a history of lying, when your family has a history of lying and hiding stuff and keeping things and sweeping it under the rug and pretending like everything's a-okay, you know what I'm saying? Pretending like everything's just a-okay. I got an issue with that. Why is it that it's okay when you guys do stuff, when you guys say something, but when we say something, it's an issue? Really? Help me understand that. You got to be careful with certain ministers too. Not every minister has the right spirit. I don't think y'all heard me. You need to be careful who y'all letting preach in y'all's churches. Robbie Warren is a pedophile. That man can't sit there and preach without looking at some woman's butt. You think I would not know about this? I've been watching that man ever since I was 16. That was when that guy tried to call himself, turning me around, talking about I'm just the right age. Why would you be telling a young girl that she's just the right age for something? What do you mean? What is just the right age? Just the right age for what? Is my question. Just the right age for what? Because I want to understand what just the right age means. Help me help you understand that. Help me understand it. What's just the right age mean? Because to me, if I heard somebody talking to my niece like that, down he would have failed. He would have got this in the head. You know what I'm saying? You don't do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just something that you don't, that's just something that you don't necessarily do. You don't do stuff like that. Just because you think that you're strong enough and big enough and bad enough, you don't have a right to sit there and try to control somebody. That doesn't give you the right to do that. It doesn't give you the right. I'm so sorry that we feel like in our culture and our custom that we have a right to disrespect people. And I'm not speaking out on people just because I just feel like we need to talk about it. I was very empowered and touched by Sister LaShawn Pace, I think her name is. She's a gospel singer. She was talking about how people need to get themselves right. It's on my page. I was listening to her. I don't own the rights of that video, but people need to understand that there's so much stuff going on in the world. People got to get themselves right. I can't sit there and tell you not to wear pants and wear makeup because I wear makeup. I'm not trying to edify anything other than edify God. I am not the most high. I'm just saying, for all people that know me, I like to look pretty. My birthday's coming up. I'm trying to have fun. No, you're not supposed to drink. You're not supposed to cuss. You're not supposed to do stuff with men if you're not married. That is true. People still do it. I mean, that don't make it right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the fact that I just think that people need to understand that the devil is in church as well. It's not just in the world. Why do you think people fight so hard? Because he goes to church too. And most of the time, it's the people you least expected. The people that be stealing on the low and you didn't know was stealing from the church. The people that you think that are doing inappropriate things are scared. That's the reason why anytime you got people constantly chasing you, constantly upset with you, constantly feeling some type of way. Why do you think I'm going through the stuff I am at my own apartment? Because he's scared. My mother got into a situation where she got in a car accident because of the apartment complex. And they are scared trying to get almost every information because they don't want their name to be tarnished. I'm going to tell you right now, don't live in Indiana. Don't. It's not a safe place. These people lie and steal, and they are a red zone, and I don't care what nobody says. These people want to kill people. And it's the truth. If they didn't want to kill anybody, they wouldn't be given these vaccines. These vaccines are killing us, but saving them. Saving them. Saving them. It's not saving us. Anyway, I just think you guys need to be careful who's also preaching. I think it's interesting how these preachers can be so-called this and that and the third and stuff, and oh, I love you, I love the church, this and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. If you love the church, then how come you can't let people preach? I was at somebody's church, and this minister basically said it was basically not about always hoopline and actually giving God thanks. This minister got mad and pulled him over to the side. If that's a word from God, why would you say all this other stuff? The thing that's crazy about this other church, I went to this other church on Sunday. He was basically talking about harlots and people in church that be sinning and stuff like that. And the harlot is these scandalous women. You keep telling us that men, when you get offended when women say, you know how men are, and then you say, no, I don't. Okay, but if that was the case, then stop accusing women of always falling in sin. Eve was not the only person in the wrong here, people. God made Adam first. When are men going to take responsibility for the reason why we are in the place that we are in? The reason why we have to work the hardest is because the Bible says in Genesis, we shall work from the sweat of our brow. The men will. And in birth and in conception, we will bear a child. That women have to deal with the pain of childbirth. That is the truth because of the things that we did, because the things that Adam did, period. We were born into sin. It's all there. But when you got people who sit there and then you wonder why Cat Williams had to call out Eddie Long. Now, Eddie Murphy, that's not what I meant, Eddie Long. Everybody wants to keep talking about Eddie Long, Eddie Long, Eddie Long. He knew what he was doing with these men. That's a shame and a disgrace. Everybody's talking about the LGBTQ, this is that, this is sad. There's people in the church messing over them. Look at the Pope. We all here talking about getting excited for this man to come. Y'all messing over kids. Y'all don't think that's the main reason why y'all need to be married. And you wonder why there's so many lesbians. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong if that's your choice. I'm not saying that it's don't misinterpret me. If that's what you choose to do, that is your business. But I'm saying messing over kids, though, are you serious? Like, I don't understand that. I'll never understand that. I've got so much counseling for the stuff that happened to me just so I wouldn't think that it's normal. You know what I'm saying? People just be like, oh, you don't know. No, if you don't go to counseling and you were affected by somebody messing over you, you will 9 times out of 10 do it. I don't care what nobody says. That is the reason why I'm glad I had people praying for me and all that other stuff, because it's not in my heart. Not saying it would have been in my heart. It's just that you got to be careful of of what the devil is trying to do. He's trying to make everybody relive the patterns in their life that of the old. That's basically what it is. The sins of our fathers and stuff like that. We are no longer under that law anymore. That's the reason why Jesus came. Anyway, the thing about it is that people are prostituting the word of God. God is not what people think merchandise is. Stop selling the gospel. Stop selling all these freaking stupid, this is how you get closer to God. The Bible is already in front of you. I'm sick of that stuff. We get so far into it. I understand. I'm an educated woman. I get excited when I learn about the Lord and I want to know more about God. Yes, I like to learn about the shroud of Jesus. I think that's amazing. And yes, I do believe there are missing parts of the Bible that need to be still there, and they're not, and they're probably, old and stuff. Yes, I get it. That there was somebody racist that used only certain parts of the Bible so they can condemn the smaller race. Yes, I believe that religion in some aspects is to control the masses of poor people, not rich people. But I find it interesting how it's always a poor person condemning a rich person for what they do. And they feel like they need to, I just want to understand that. This is not me saying that, and understand it for what it is. My mother is not speaking against it. This is me, Sabrina. You know me. And some of y'all that have done stuff that is wrong. And God is coming back. You need to tell the truth about it. Tell the truth about the fact that you guys be using these daycares to do. That's the reason why Saints and Sinners is real. You guys use daycares to steal from the government. You guys use stuff just to steal. You got all these things that talk about women and all this other stuff going on. You always want to talk about what we do, what we're in sin for. You guys are in lawful sin. Y'all are going to get in trouble with the fucking IRS, my nigga. That is something that you can't play with. Some of y'all churches be stealing from people, stealing from the government. I don't do that stuff. I file my taxes. I do what I'm told. I keep it moving. I mean, can we be honest about it? You guys are going to be in so much sin. Don't make any sense. Pastors sleeping with their secretary. That's the reason why I don't like the Braxton Family Values. This is nothing against the show. This is everything against the fact that you guys think that it's okay for him to be an ex-apostolic preacher who basically fell in sin and then go and condemn the sisters on why they do stuff. You thought that it was okay to sit there and sleep with Wanda? What's wrong with you? This woman gave you 35 years of her life, gave you 6 beautiful kids, and this is what you do to her. Meanwhile, you wonder why the kids are so messed up in the head because they don't know what they want. Too busy trying to make them into stars instead of seeking help for the stuff that they've been through, sexual molestations. And you wonder why Tamar is so stressed out, because everybody keeps taking it out on her because she's the one that's going to tell the truth about it regardless, while everybody else is hiding stuff. That is the truth. Tracy doesn't just stick out and start yelling for no reason. Stuff happened to her. Trina wouldn't have been drinking like she did if something that wasn't happening to her. Same thing with Tawanda. Same thing with Tony. Same thing with Michael. All of them have some type of pain, and it's because nobody wants to deal with the church hurt. We need to talk about these things. Church hurt is amongst people, not amongst God. He is not there to hurt us, but nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody does. Everybody wants to just sit here and pretend like, oh, it's God, it's God, it's God. If God was really trying to hurt you, don't you think he would? Didn't he do it in the days of Noah when they didn't believe that Jesus was going to, or not Jesus, I said it backwards. They believed that the Lord was going to send a flood. I mean, are we going to listen to this stuff or not? We're just going to keep pretending like nothing is happening. We need to fix these church hurts so people can get saved. Stop condemning these people for wearing what they wear. People are going to wear what they wear. The point is to get them saved. and then let the Lord tell them what to take off. Stop condemning people and you don't even have it in your heart. I find it interesting for people always trying to be condemning, but they still do the stuff that they do. They want to tell you to take everything down, take all this African stuff down, take this other stuff down, but in their room, in their house right now is the Nefertiti and Ra and Basat, whatever her name is, and Isis and all this other stuff that you guys be having in your. That's the reason why, main reason why I don't deal with my Auntie Karen. I love her, but she doesn't believe. She basically, she was the one that basically said Jesus is equivalent to Santa Claus. Now everybody in holiness knows that's so blasphemous, so blasphemous. But that's what my Auntie Karen said, basically. Because she doesn't believe. She believes the apostolic faith is a cult. Almost all the religions to her is a cult. But African tradition isn't a cult. My thing is, I love African anything, but my thing, if it's not of God, then it's not right. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying walk away from your tradition, but you gotta be mindful with the spirit behind the stuff that you listen to. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people are really crying for help, especially these unsaved people. These artists are tired. They're tired of singing forever, not getting money, and the only people that making money is Clive. These people are tired. This is the year of revelation. People are tired of being broke. People are tired. If they really wanted to be broke, they would have stayed broke. Folks are tired of going through stuff. They want to be heard. They want to be loved. They just want it. They need it. It's in our life and our depths to be loved. If you didn't want to be loved, why do you think Whitney Houston was singing all these love songs? Because her life was horrible. Living with people that are rude and ruthless and use her for a sacrifice just to get her estate. This is what this world is about. Money, power, and fame. The world, the systems of the world is made for who? Who? Can we be honest about that? It was never made for us. Because if it was made for us, why do you think they're killing us off? Because we know the truth. We know the truth, and we have the power to do something about it. So go in prayer and seek God. Seek God for stuff if you need it. Seek Him, seek Him, seek Him, seek Him. I don't do everything right. I'm not perfect. That's Him. He's the perfect one. Don't look at me. Look at Him. Because He's the perfect one. I can't tell you how to live because He's still getting on me on the stuff that I need to get over. Some of the stuff that I'm trying to do. I'm sitting here trying to be cool and kick it with everybody else, and that's not what I was assigned to do. Know what you're assigned to do and get it right before He comes. This is the year of revelation. Get it together, folks. I'm doing it as well. I'm not perfect. On another episode of SMS News Channel, and I'll be back with more.